Hi friends, my name is Denita Inez with Desueño Dance, and I am back to have a cool chat with you a little bit about teaching philosophy and the way in which I think about teaching as a person with a very diverse background. So when you're looking for a teacher, I've always told people it's so important to, find somebody that fits you, because how people think about teaching and their methodology can be vastly different in terms of how you learn, the experience during learning, and a lot of different things that go into it. My background is in modern dance, contemporary dance. Specifically, I had Horton, I had Dunham, took some Lamone, some free movement, things like that. So when I started teaching partner dance, I brought a lot of that movement theory into how I teach. I thought it was really important to do some basic acknowledgments of breath and bringing together what I like to call the mind-body connection. A lot of times in life, especially if you're in a busy city or what have you, we're running, we're moving through life, we're doing this, get the kids, drop this off, submit this. There's a lot of things going on in our lives. And to have a way to reconnect the mind to what the body is actually doing, to be aware of the body. There are a lot of things that our bodies do automatically without us consciously putting a lot of effort to it, such as breathing. Yes, you're not consciously thinking, breathe, 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 throughout your day. But to be mindful of what you're doing, not just, grab the bag, do this, but to think about how you do that. Are you scooping through? Are you carving the space? So a lot of those movement ideas I do bring into how I teach partner work and partner dancing. One of the things that I really enjoy doing with groups when I come in class, we're like, you've just walked in from your day. I don't know what went on, who you had to talk to, the things you had to do. But one of the things that I really enjoy doing is taking that first group breath. Either we're breathing while we're stretching, or to just take a moment to let everything kind of just relax and take a moment to calm the body, calm the mind is important. I love doing that in classes. I think it just kind of brings everybody to a nice equilibrium of where we start, and it lets us move through class in a way that lets you focus and refocus on what it is that you personally want to be working on, where you personally want to be during the class, without letting everything outside intrude in that moment. We had a saying, or a lot of students who would tell me, I came in not feeling so great, or I had a very hectic work or stressful day, and I didn't really feel like doing this. Like, I wasn't in the mindset to be doing what we were doing today. But throughout class, just having that moment to reset, I feel so much better afterwards. It moves through a progression where they were able to let those feelings, they exist, so we're not dropping them, but letting you refocus on the body, refocus on something else to kind of calm the spirit, calm the nerves, and kind of let you feel that at the end of class, there's this beautiful joy that you were able to achieve, this beautiful, even just state of contentment, to realize that there are other things in the world that can have your attention, and to take that moment just to refocus, calm the brain, and then you can get back to what you need to get back to. But I always felt like that was a very important thing that we did in my dance classes, especially in, let's say, my Dunham technique. Breathing was always really important to refocus the body, refocus the mind, and it also helped prepare you for learning, which I thought was a great way to be. So we often do that, even if it's just a quick stretch with a breath attached to it. I feel like the first thing that you need to do before going into learning something new, going to a class, is make sure that you're focused, or that you are preparing your body to accept something new and to wake up its awareness, to say, hello, I'm in this body. I'm not just moving through, not thinking about the body that I'm actually about to use to dance. So that's an important thing. So there's power in dancing as an individual in your own personal mind-body connection. And then there's the community power. And that is when you really take a moment to appreciate the people around you, the bodies, the humans around you, unless you have class with non-humans, which sometimes has happened. But just to enjoy the spirit of community, and what I like to think of as the village component of dance, or the social dance village. So when we're dancing, we dance oftentimes either by ourselves or with another partner or person, a teammate, a partner, and then we dance together as an ensemble, as a unit. And in contemporary dance especially, there are things that are done in terms of performance and things in terms of class, in terms of feeling the space, feeling each other, feeling each other's movement. Even things like we call flocking, like a flock of birds, like how we move together, that I enjoy bringing together through the course of a class. Those are techniques that are used in contemporary dance to keep the ensemble together, or to keep a certain feel, a certain vibe as you flow through class. And one of the things that you can do when you're bringing that into your social dance is to acknowledge the group, acknowledge that feeling of togetherness. We're all here for a specific purpose, and then move from there. So that way you kind of set a common ground, a common base work, and then you begin to move. I think that helps create and foster the sense of community, a sense of safe space, and gives you a point at which you all can grow together, and it feels definitely as if we're moving forward as a collective, right? We're trying to get there together. Like, yes, right? And we might be at different phases of our dance journey, and that's okay. That's always been and always going to be the case. There are going to be people who are at different places, and that's a good thing. That gives you that diversity of movement, diversity of thought process. And even in the same class, let's say we're learning the same combination, at the same level, that just means how we think about the dance too. So it's not speaking to dance level, but where you are in the physicality of your own self. That is a bit different. So that's what I'm speaking to, and having a way to bring that together. And then you're dancing together with your village, right? That can help lift everyone up. And that's what I really want to do in my personal teaching philosophy, in terms of, I would love for you to be able to fulfill your personal goals in learning to dance, learning to social dance, whatever those goals may be. But I also want to make sure that as a community, there are certain goals, certain standards that we're upholding. And when you're in the role of teacher, it is your responsibility to facilitate the norms and to communicate how the dance world is and how you would like it to be. So when we're dancing, we have this idea, and this might be very personal, but the idea of what is a great dance world or a great social dance world for you to exist in, for your students to exist in, for other professionals to exist in, and how do we keep modeling our classes in a way that moves us to that idealized world in a realistic way. So, in terms of how we treat each other, how we move through the space, it's interesting because I took a group of students out, and friends, we were just all out social dancing, which was great. It was a fun time. And someone from outside of our group, because we were dancing with everyone. We were really having a fun time. But someone outside of the group said, "Oh, are these all your students?" And I thought about that, and I was like, well, no, they weren't. But what that person was identifying is that there's a way in which people who've had my training interact, and the friends that I had or people who were past students, a lot of them were there. So it was creating this energy and this vibe, this openness, this warmth, this joy that was spreading, and people were coming in like, oh, I like this. I like how this feels, how this tastes, and how do I, kind of get involved. I thought that that was a really kind of pertinent thing, because it starts to identify you in a space based upon how you behave, how you act. And for me, I want to make a social dance world that is open, that is safe, that is respectful of people as individuals, regardless of their dance ability. It is something that will make sure that no matter what, you're having safe dances, you're going to have an enjoyable time. That is what I want in my beautiful, idealized version of the social dance world. And there's, more that I want on that list. But at the base, I want people to have safe dances. I want them to feel safe in the community and to feel open and comfortable in that community, while also being respectful of people. So that's where I see the dance world going, where I would like it to go. Again, that's the ideal, and where it's at just depends on different places, right? Different communities have a different feel, different socials have a different feel. But in terms of why Desueño feels the way that it feels, oftentimes it's because we bring that thought process into it. And even if I'm articulating it now, there are different ways I kind of foster that feeling, foster that sentiment through class. But I hope you enjoyed. This might be a mini series, but this is part 1 of how to acknowledge those things that we're doing in class to foster a really beautiful dance world. And there's more. There's so much more I could say about it. But I think that's a good opening to let you know where I'm at and where I think the dance world and community can go and can grow into. So thank you again. I'm Denita Inez of Desueño. And keep dancing, keep breathing, and feeling that beautiful sense of community, that beautiful mind-body connection. All right. Have a great day, y'all.